Welcome to Monte Vista Unitarian Universalist congregation this Thanksgiving weekend. And we're thankful you're here. Thank you, Zoom folks. Good morning. Please join us after service for our last town hall of the year, December 7th. And the Teams and Task Force Coordinator group will meet after the town hall for about 45 minutes. So that's December 7th. Coming up, we have our winter holiday party on December 13th. And we've heard there's a special guest arriving by sleigh. New members class, December 14th. And Reverend Maggie's retirement bash. Please join us December 21st. It will be a potluck occasion and a very special event as we honor Reverend Maggie on her retirement. Yeah. And she'll be here Christmas Eve for service as well. And now Robert Tidwell will talk to us about Adopt a Family.
Good morning, everybody. So the Adopt a Family tags are on the RE table in the back, on the Christmas trees and on the table in front of them. We have 2 families this year with 2 kids in one family and 3 kids in the other. The program is through the Inland Valley Hope Partners, and every year we try to support a family that doesn't have enough for Christmas, and to get the kids something nice, and so they have a happy Christmas. All the gifts should be wrapped when donated, and they should have a tag that has the family number on it, which is on the information back there, and then it should have the name of the person who's going to receive the gift. So if it's a child named Angel and their family number, just put that on there, and then that's all that it has to have on it. Just make sure it's wrapped and tagged appropriately, and then bring it by December 14th. So a great way to do that is to bring it December 13th to our party. But as long as it's here by the end of service, December 14th, I'm going to load them all up in my car, and then I'm going to take them on Monday the following day. So it has to be here by December 14th. You can bring them earlier. A few people brought some today, and I put them in my office where they'll be safe until then. But, we only have a few weeks, so make sure you get them by December 14th. Thank you.
Good morning again, everybody. Good to have you here. And I just want to say, I want to express my own personal thanks to everybody who participated in the lay-led service last week on gratitude. I watched the video at home, and I highly recommend, even if you were here that day, take a look at that again. It was just so lovely. So thank you to those who told their stories or told someone else's stories. It was just really beautiful, and it just said so much about who we are as a congregation. I really, really loved watching it. It was very heartening, very heartening. We open our service this morning as we bid November farewell, yes, already, on this 5th and final Sunday of Native American Heritage Month. And we dedicate our first words to honor the Tongva and the other indigenous peoples on whose ancestral homelands we are gathered here today. We hold tenderly our growing recognition of the harm that is caused by colonization. And we seek opportunities for any mending that we can bring. For yesterday, we honor those who have come before us. We call to the ancestors of our faith, of our families, and of our hearts. For today, we extend a safe, warm welcome to all gathered here with us, those who are live on Zoom and those who will watch on the recording. And for tomorrow, as we prepare a place for our descendants, We bring our kind and open hearts to every conversation as we await their arrival. And together, all of our people said 3 times, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." You'll notice the piano has like a shadow over it today. Lily has this Sunday off, so we have all recorded music. Some of it is her playing. This one, our welcoming song that I invite you to sing along with, is one that was created by the First Unitarian Church of Baltimore. Do we have any Baltimore folks? Maybe, so close by, close, yeah. So you may recognize a few of the folks in the video, but we offer them our gratitude as we sing along, we gather together. Please be seated. And as I remember to shut my phone off, I invite you to do likewise. Throughout the many sacred moments of our lives, we share rituals that unite us as people of a living and liberal faith, here to serve in a spiritually vigorous time. We light a chalice at each of our gatherings, and it represents the spirit, values, and rich history of Unitarian Universalism. Its flame invites us to nourish our lives both physically and spiritually within this community of justice, love, and service. As George comes forward to light our chalice this morning, I invite you to hear the words of Katie Sivani Gelfand. She's a DLRE, like our Robert. And this chalice lighting that she has titled, "The Abundance of Our Lives Together." We light our chalice as a symbol of gratitude as we celebrate the abundance of our lives together. In this sanctuary, we harvest bushels of strength for one another, and we offer our crop with the hands of compassion and generosity. In the authentic and gentle manner of our connections, we cultivate a simple sweetness to brighten our spirits. May we be grateful for the ways that we nourish and uplift each other, for it is in the sharing of this hallowed time together that we are sustained. May it be so. I invite you to stand again as we sing our invocation, Spirit of Life. We will have a recording of a previous time Lily played for us, so you'll recognize the piano. And also then we'll read our covenant together.
Thank you.
a quick note while Jaryus is putting the words up for the covenant for our visitors. Our faith, Unitarian Universalism, is not a creedal faith. We don't recite what we believe, but we do write covenants with one another that speak to how we will be in relationship within the spiritual community. And this is the one that we're currently using. Join us as you're comfortable. We affirm that love is the greatest purpose of this congregation. The search for truth is our constant star, and service is our prayer. We pledge our hearts, minds, and hands to challenge with courage, to make choices for a healthier planet, and to live out our Unitarian, Universalist values every day as beloved community. Thus do we covenant with each other and with all that is sacred in life. Please be seated as Robert brings us our wisdom tale for today.
Good morning again. Today's story is called When You Have More Than Enough, and it's by Dawn Star Sarah's Borshit. Once upon a time, there was a family, and maybe this family had not quite enough to eat, or maybe they had had just about enough, or perhaps they had more than enough. You might not have been able to tell. They might not have been able to tell. Sometimes it's hard to tell if you have enough or not. It's hard not to want more or different things than what you have. In any case, this family came together one autumn day for a celebration, a feast, a time of gratitude. They gathered, as we have done, around a table. There was food, there was drink, there were flowers to remind them of beauty. And then there was a call from the gate outside their door. "Hello, we're hungry and thirsty, and we see you have a feast. May we come in?" Well, the family didn't know how to answer at first. Who were these people at the gates? Was it safe to let these people in? Did they have enough to share? Was there room? But they remembered. They remembered that most of them had come to this family, to the celebration from someplace else. They remembered that even they who were there at the table had not always been kind to each other. There had been times when they hurt each other. There were still times when they made each other sad or angry or afraid. There is no way to make life completely safe. They remembered times when others had shared with them, even when the others might not have had quite enough of their own. And they remembered when each new member of the family had been born or come to stay or married in. They remembered that they had always found a way to make room. And they remembered an old saying, "When you have more than you need, it is better to build a longer table than to build a higher fence." We have enough, they said. We might have more than enough. We are many and strong, and we can hold a safe space here in our home for all who come. And so they went out to their door and to the gate in the fence, and they opened the gate. They invited the people who were there inside. They pulled out another table and made the space for the newcomers. They covered it with a cloth, and the newcomers sat upon it a dish full of something fragrant and delicious, which was strange and wonderful to the family. Everybody shared, and there was enough. I want you to notice that we only heard one part of the story. We heard the story of the people who were in the family in the house ready to feast. We didn't hear the story of the people at the gate wanting to come in. We don't know who they are or why they were there or what they bring to the table, other than that it was strange and wonderful food. So when you hear other stories this Thanksgiving season, I want you to think about whose stories they are and whose stories they aren't, and what those other stories might be. And now, if the kids can come forward, you guys can sing us to our classroom. So Brooklyn, come get the chalice.
Have a great time. We got a whole group today. That's great. Thank you for your many gifts that add to our congregation's well-being. We are all deeply grateful for the contributions that each of us offers. That includes our budget that is completely funded by people like each of you who freely and joyfully contribute to its sustainability. And as our contribution to the sustainability of our neighbors' lives, we gather donations of non-perishable foods and personal care items that are distributed through the Foothill Family Center. We've also voted and agreed to donate 50% of our gathered offerings that are not earmarked as pledges with a charity that aligns with our values. For the month of November, which ends today, we have chosen to share our offering plate with Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense, a grassroots movement of Americans working toward public safety measures that protect people from gun violence. They work to organize efforts to pass stronger gun laws, and they close the gaps that leave our families at risk. They also work with business leaders to encourage a culture of responsible gun ownership, and we share their passionate message that gun violence is preventable. So it is with gratitude for the many gifts of this community that we now bring forward our generous offerings to be placed in the basket, and items for the Foothill Family Shelter can be put in the red wagon. But the offerings of our community will now be graciously given and gratefully received as Jaryus plays our offering. Thanks for your giggles. When I chose that song, I listened to it all the way through, and I go, oh, that's going to trip me. And then sure enough, it's like I made it happen. It's like I created it. Oh, dear. Well, Lily's not here. Don't tell her. Joys and sorrows, delights and disappointments, shine and shadow. They're all part of the things in our lives that bring us here and bring us together. And sometimes it's helpful to share those with others. I have a couple, one drop, oh, yep. I thought I had two up here. I've got several today. This one is from Lauren. Lauren, there she is. And it's a joy and a concern. It's a joy that she's in the last 2 weeks of school, but finals start tomorrow. Yeah. Please pray that it passes swiftly, gently, and with a good outcome. Yeah, good. And this one comes to us along the same lines from Phoebe. Phoebe. She is here today, but it is her last service with us of the year. Yeah, but she'll be back in January. Happy holidays. And have a safe trip going back to New Zealand. Yeah, enjoy. We'll miss you. And then the one that I received from Heather is similar to one that's coming up here. So I'm going to weave yours in with mine, Heather. Also wanted to point out, most of us probably saw this in the news, but I think it's important that we hold the people of Hong Kong in our hearts. They had a fire, and we're so sensitive to the harm that comes from massive fires like this. There was a fire that broke out in a high-rise apartment complex in the district of Tai Po in Hong Kong. It was this week. It was a home. Several apartments were home to around 4,600 residents, and they're all left homeless now. 128 people are now known to have died, but many are still missing. So we hold them in our hearts. And I know that Jane Coates has talked to some of you about her health concerns, but I asked her because I spoke to someone who had no idea. So I asked her if we could please tell everyone what is happening, and this is the prayer. Yeah, it's hard news. It was in the afternoon on Halloween when Jean's medical team found lesions in her lungs that were later biopsied and discovered to be from the breast cancer that has returned after 6 years. Her oncology team is working on a plan of care for her. Last Saturday, Jean was hospitalized for fluid buildup near the heart that resulted in painful gout unrelated to the cancer that is now diagnosed and responding well to treatment. But Diana adds, we have a joy to celebrate today because Jean was well enough to discharge from Pomona Hospital late Friday evening, and she is staying at a skilled nursing facility for physical therapy and rehab before returning home. So yay, she is going to get stronger. I don't think she's on Zoom today. No, I don't see her there. I would say, let's say hi to Jean. But yeah, if anyone has questions or anything about Jean's condition or her treatment, please talk to her or Diana, okay? And we have Jill Regal back with us today, so yay. She is recovering from stroke at home, and she wishes to share a bit of her gratitude. I've got a mic for you.
Use of my arm. My dad has been gone 27 years, and I asked Dad to hold my hand. And I got my forefinger moved, and then my fingers moved. And my motion has been coming back ever since. And because my function has come back so quickly, they say I'll make a full recovery. Yes. So I thank you.
One more joy. This is my great joy because I get to welcome 2 people into membership today. Julie Higdon and Heather Coaster, can you guys come forward? Take your time, take your time. We've got some seats up front. You can come sit up here. Today, we celebrate and welcome 2 new members into our beloved community. I invite each of you to take time to remember your own moment of membership and be warmed by the gifts that our new members bring to us. To the new members, I will ask 4 questions. Please respond if it's true with I will. Will you accept from us our gifts of fellowship, discovery, and service?
I will. I will.
Will you offer us your unique identity, your presence, and your giftedness?
I will. I will.
Will you add your name to the long history of Unitarian Universalists who spread hope and increased justice through our living faith?
I will. I will.
Will you engage with MVUUC as we seek to create a beloved community and work to co-create a world that is dedicated to safety, love, and justice?
I will. I will.
Good. Congregation, please respond. It's time for you to voice your intent to be in covenant with our new members. I'll ask you 3 questions. Will you welcome these new members with the warmth and comfort of your fellowship?
I will.
Will you welcome these new, same question. Will you seek to add your strengths and talents to the new gifts that they bring to us?
We will.
And will you share our triumphs and our struggles as our community grows and changes?
We will.
You will. Thank you. Thank you. Heather and Julie, today we welcome you with open hearts and open arms. Here in this sacred space, many have gathered for nearly 75 years, seeking a higher purpose and a deeper life than they could find alone. We are grateful for both of you. Glad that you have found your way here and happy that you decided to make a commitment to this faith community. We hope that as a member of this church, you'll allow yourselves to know each of us and to be known by us as yours, to minister to us and to be ministered to, and to love and to be loved by this congregation. As members of this church, we pledge to be guardians of each other's spirits, to respect the ultimate privacy of each one's human struggle, and to believe that each person is inherently worthy of dignity. And we embrace the bonds of fellowship and love to cultivate reverence, to promote spiritual growth, and to embrace an ethical commitment to minister to each other's needs and to those of humanity, to celebrate the sacred moments of one's life passages, and to honor the holiness and the humanness at the center of our being. So we welcome you into this community with all of our hearts, and I invite you to sign the book. Oh, okay. And I'm still talking with Tyler. We're not going to let you get far away before we have a ceremony to welcome you as well. Please join me in a spirit of prayer. Our prayer today comes from the UUA Worship Web resources, and it's inspired by the Reverend Dr. Suzanne Inchilligator. Baby prayers are welcome. Don't be sorry. We love the sound. Dear Spirit, great mystery that has blessed us with life, help us to feel grateful. We give thanks in this moment for lungs that breathe in and out, for hearts that beat, and for bodies that work. We give thanks for this coming holiday season, however and with whomever we will spend it. We give thanks to be alive and to be able to mark the day in whatever way we choose. We give thanks for family, for friends, for those who gather around us in body or in spirit, in flesh or in memory. We give thanks for all those people who came before us, who, flawed and damaged as they were, loved us into being and shaped us into who we are now. We remember them with gratitude. We give thanks for mothers and fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers that did their best. And we give thanks for wacky uncles and rebellious aunts, for rambunctious cousins and unexpected guests. We give thanks for long car rides and dashes through airports and endless rounds of Monopoly. We give thanks for the awkward conversation, the strained pause, even the slammed door. And we give thanks for disagreements that forced us to grow and to move and to evolve. We give thanks for all of it, for all of it, for all these wild and hungry people, our family, our friends, and our congregation. People just as flawed as we are, all dealing with more than we can see, and all part of a larger whole, every last one doing their best. We give thanks for the glory of being alive. Amen. Our gentle song today, we can sing it sitting. It's a recording of Lily playing Filled with Loving Kindness, and lyrics will be on the screen. Little edit to your order of service. I changed the scripture that I used, well, the version. Instead of the message, instead of the message, I selected the English Standard Version. Now the day began to wear away, and the 12 came and said to him, "Send the crowd away to go into the surrounding villages and countryside, to find lodging and to get provisions, for we are here in this desolate place." But he said to them, "You give them something to eat." But they said, "We have no more than 5 loaves and 2 fish, unless we're to go and buy food for all of these people. For there were about 5,000 men. And he said to his disciples, have them all sit down in groups of about 50 each. And they did so, and had them all sit down. And taking the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, he looked up to heaven and said a blessing over them. Then he broke the loaves and gave them to his disciples to set before the crowd. And they all ate and were satisfied. And what was left over was picked up, 12 baskets of broken pieces. Please enjoy a piece of special music that I've chosen for this moment. Our reading this morning might seem to lack connection to our theme of overabundance, but isn't that often the case with spiritual exploration? Those light bulb moments that we seek are sometimes shaded. And when we look to the Christian scriptures for illumination, we can be limited by our own certainty about their deeper meaning or lack thereof, especially when we hesitate to allow them to take us toward truth or to teach us anything. But for today, I invite your curiosity to open the way as we look at what Jesus was actually teaching those multitudes in this story. That outside of the resurrection is the only narrative that's found in all 4 Gospels. Reading those 4 parallel accounts in the books of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John can widen the lens and put the lesson together in a way that takes the magical tale of feeding 5,000 people as Jesus could, and instead grants us not only the capacity but the call to do likewise. It's not a Thanksgiving tale per se, but one that might nudge us year-round to remember who we are as spirit beings, embracing a human experience, with a nod of respect to French priest Pierre Teilhard de Chardin. It's a tale we piece together in order to learn that it was the time of the Passover, and the Jewish peoples were traveling to Jerusalem for the festival, as was their custom for centuries. They made the same journey every year, just as their ancestors had done for generations. Each family group preparing for that familiar annual pilgrimage far in advance, packing up clothing and food, lots of food, well stocked for the 3-day passage from Galilee to Jerusalem, and no doubt enough to get them back home as well. But we can imagine the busy preparations of the families weeks in advance, especially when we engage our perception of all those Jewish mothers, drying the fish, baking the breads, packing up the fruit, and the many provisions needed for their donkeys and their best animals of their herd brought along to become ritual offerings at the temple, at least for those with means. And that's right where we hear the screeching halt of the story and the scratch of the album needle, if you will. The place where we stop short and we leap 2,000 years ahead with a very deep sigh. That this is the point where we realize that having the poor among us, while we celebrate holy days and festivals with wild abandon and overabundance, gives each of us the opportunity to consider the many ways that we do have more than enough. As individuals, as a nation, as a species on a planet in the vast universe. And we can make changes to do something about that. But first, back to Jesus. All of the Gospels tells us there were 5,000 men traveling, and some add that there were also women and children, by the way. But that's how their society was structured then. And while we might cringe, let's not get stuck there. There's other more important themes that all 4 books share, and that's that Jesus felt compassion for everyone. His actions were motivated by his compassion. He saw their weakness, he saw their lack, and he saw those with means. He suggested that everyone rest as the day was drawing to a close. And his students, the disciples, suggested that the hungry and the weary should be sent out into the villages to find their own food and shelter, understanding that those who had means would be okay. But Jesus taught otherwise. They don't need to go anywhere. You give them something to eat, he said. We can almost see their stunned surprise and hear their excuses as they reply, but all we have is 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread. We've only got the morsels that were gathered by the boy from the generosity of the crowd, as they had showed him. But note well, it is only in John's telling that we see that the donations were given to the young boy. Others let us think the disciples had gathered them. And here is where we can take the heart that we need to hear the teachings that we need, and we do well to hear. This is not the tale that Jesus magically turned 5 loaves and 2 fish into enough food to feed 5,000 men and their families with 12 baskets left over. What we do need to hear is that Jesus spoke to the crowd and calmed them and asked them to sit and settle in. Then he praised the child for being generous and giving away whatever he had. It was given without restraint, and he offered it to be used for the good of all. So Jesus blessed the donations of loaves and fishes, offering gratitude for the gift from the heart of a young boy. And he praised the generosity of the child in front of the disciples and the witnesses in the crowds, using a child's generosity as an example, as a motivation, as a bit of a nudge with maybe just a twinge of shaming for all the others who were gathered, so that they too would offer what they had stashed away for themselves. I can imagine the hungry, tired crowd sitting down for the first time that day, listening to the words of Jesus and praising the gifts offered by the hungry child. Were the disciples jealous? We can be curious. And maybe it was a bit reluctantly at first, but we can see that the members of each and every household being impacted by Jesus' teaching and reaching into their food packages, like they were reaching into their hearts. And as the generosity began to flow, they began pulling out generous contributions from their abundance and contributing to the meal that was being shared, where everyone would be able to be fed. And before too long, the 5,000 created a feast where everyone had plenty to eat at one of the best potluck meals any of them had ever seen. No one was sent away to go find their own food. No one excluded because they had nothing to contribute. No one was shunned because of their lack. And there were 12 baskets left over. More than enough. All along, they already had more than enough. So how might we be touched and changed by the teachings that come our way on the festivals that we mark with traditions of overabundance? Can we see the ways that we might imagine ourselves as one of those 5,000, longing to be invited to rest and fed to overflowing and nourished in new ways? open to be changed by the simple teachings that come to us when we least expect them. Can we too be willing to share from what we've got stashed away for our own personal life journeys? Can we find connection and compassion for others in need? Can we see the overabundance in our lives and learn to contribute from generous hearts for the good of all? Sure we can, because we have more. We all have more than enough. Blessed be. And our sending song that I invite you to stand for is also a recording of Lily playing. The lyrics will be on the screen. We'll sing, "We Give Thanks." Our benediction that we will read aloud together and bless one another is in your order of service, but it should be coming up on the screen. There we go. As we extinguish
our chalice flame and close our time together, we invite its overabundance of light to shine through each of us, to illuminate our way on the path ahead.
May we serve as a light in this world that we care so much about. And my closing words to you for this beautiful day we've had together, may it be that in the darkness there is a blessing, that in the shadows there be a welcome, that in the night you be encompassed by the love that knows your name. May it be so. Blessed be, and amen.